Hello, I'm Trey and welcome to another of my colouring tutorials. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing how we colour a door, but it's going to be a blue door rather than a traditional, say, brown door. And this design is from a book by Hannah Karlzon, and it's the Midnight Masquerade. I'm not quite sure which version this is. This was a gift to myself. Thank you, Annie, who sent me this for my birthday, and it's a beautiful book. I absolutely love it. So it's really nice to be able to do a tutorial using this book. Now, when I've got a big area to do, and I have, pencils that I find that are mid-range, more expensive pencils, or even my Prisma, you use quite a lot of pencil when you do a large area. So I tend to use a budget pencil to do the base layer first, and I use W.H. Smith pencils, but I thought I would try a different brand of budget pencil. There were good reviews for it, and I got a set, and that brand was no good. It was scratchy, it was uneven, patchy when it came down to how it went down. A lot of the pencils looked very strange, so I decided to try something else, and these were under £20 for 72. Now I'm not quite sure if you can see the name on those. It's spelled M-U-H-U-I, Chinese brand. I'd never heard of it before. There was a couple of reviews and they were quite good, so I thought I'd try these, and they're much better than the other ones I tried. They go down smoother. They are hard pencils, but they aren't patchy and scratchy at all. They're quite smooth, and when they go down reasonably even. And pigment, not brilliant, but these are for base layers, so I'm quite happy with that. That's fine. So now I've decided to do the big area with the cheaper pencils to save my Castle Art, because I like the Castle Art pencils. So now I'm going to start to use the Castle Art. I'm using 3 colours of blue, a light, a medium and a dark. Because I've already put a light layer of blue down, I'm going to start with the medium blue with the Castle Art. This is number 47. I'm going to start putting in the shading. You don't have, if you're using other kinds of pencils, that's fine. Just decide on, what shades to use in your blues of your choice. Now there's line art here, so I'm going to try and use that line art to help with my shading. I want to emphasize parts of this door, as in it looks like it's made up of slats. So I'm going to try and make it look that way. So I'm going to put a darker section along the edges of these lines. Now if there's no line there, then I'll leave it and come back to the line at the bottom of the door. So I'll start again at the top. I'm going to leave that gap because I want that to be lighter, and do the same again, shading around part of these lines on the artwork on the door. and it'll need adjusted as I go along, because at this part here this line stops, but then a different line comes in, so I'm going to put a darker section of shading there, and I'll be doing that throughout this door section. So I'll start from the top and look at each of these broken lines and put a darker section on either side, and what I'm open to do is have lighter sections in between the darker sections to make it look like slats of wood. I'm just going to do half the door on camera for this the wood section. So now I'm going to go in to those areas again with the darkest blue I'm using, and it's almost like I'm just going over those lines. Just to darken them in. Now that I've got one layer down of the darker colours, I'm going to go over all of it again with the actual lightest Castle Art pencil I'm using. And it'll soften up those dark areas I've just put in. Now that's the first few layers down for the door, and I've only done one side, like I said, because I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So how I follow those lines, I'm going to do the same on this side. but I don't think you need to watch me do all that. So I'll do that off camera and then come back to these after I've got a few layers down and I've copied the other side of the door the same. I'll put a few more layers down of the blues I was using, the dark blue, medium, and another layer of the light. Then using a little bit of zest, I blended a little bit, but I didn't do it even. I did it in strokes because I wanted it to look like the door was kind of aged, and I thought it might give it almost like a streaky appearance, and I kind of like the effect. So it's not even. I do like that effect. So one of the things I want to do now, because I think I'd like to put more layers down on this, but again I don't need to do that on camera. I want to, at the bottom and at the top of the door, I want to do a little bit of a darker shading right across each door. So it's almost like it's aged, weather aged effect. And this is all being done with light pressure. Now, like I said, I'll put more layers down, but I will be just repeating what I've done on video. And again, I don't think I need to do all that on camera. So I hope that gives people an idea of what I'm trying to create. So I've put a little bit of dark strokes at the top and the bottom of the door, and to try to give it a weathered look. And when I did the blending with a little bit of zest, I did it in strokes again to give it a bit of a weathered look, so it doesn't look even. And I kind of like how this is coming together. It looks like it's going to be quite nice. So I hope that's useful for people, for how you could do a door. And I'll try something different in the next video.